Hey, how you doing? This is a video on oil pan gasket on a 98 GMC Sonoma 4-wheel drive. If anyone's doing this, this is what you got to do to get it out. Front differential's got to come down almost all the way out, but not completely. And that pan should slide right out. The axle's got to come out, ball joints, and the whole rotor assembly, the whole brake assembly can come out in one piece. Tire rod end's got to come out. Shock's got to come out to pull the axles out. It's a whole lot of work. You really got to love this truck to do this. Same thing on the other side. The axle's got to come out. There's the axle there. There's the other axle. Pretty much everything's got to come out. Unfortunately, doing this without a lift is going to be a real hard job. So, and pretty much, it's been a couple days for me. I tolerated a couple hours at a time. I tried getting the gasket in, like trying to wrap it in while the pan was halfway down, but I just couldn't get the old one out because it was siliconed in. This engine was rebuilt at one time. I guess from putting it up, I don't know if you can see, but the rear nuts that go on the back, that threaded rod, I think tore the gasket up when they installed it, thus creating an oil leak. But I'm not really sure. I did try to silicone it by dropping the pan down, and that did not work. It leaked. This had a real bad oil leak. The rear main seal looks like it's intact. It's not leaking, so I'm not going to replace it because the trans will have to come out. I'm not warranted all that work to do that just for that. If it's not leaking, I ain't touching it. But pretty much it. California truck, and like I said, pretty much everything's got to come out, and you got to pull the axles out, which isn't too bad. Ball joints sometimes a little bit hard. You have to beat on them a little bit harder with a bigger hammer. But luckily I got this lift. You know, on the ground is going to be hard. It's not as easy. This is the oil pan, and probably back here is probably where it was leaking. In these holes right there, in these holes. So we're going to silicone this whole section before I put it back up. The front section was fine. It wasn't leaking. You know, it was leaking along the pan. I did notice that the old gasket that was in here, I believe this was rebuilt, so it's not the original. The new Felt Pro is thicker, so it should help it prevent it from leaking again, I guess. Pan looked clean. There was nothing in it. Like I said, it runs great. This is the only problem with it: leaked oil. Well, you know, it's very hard to drive something that leaks oil all over the freaking driveway. But that's what it is to take it out. Put the oil pan in a 4.3 4-wheel drive Sonoma. Whole lot of work. Starter's got to come out. Bolts got to come out. It's actually not too bad once you get to it. But without a lift, I don't know. It's going to be hard. Didn't have to take the trans out, so that's it. Thank you very much.